Whenever I listen back to something that I do, it just makes me feel weird.
Hi, my lovely.
Hi.
Welcome to America.
The story of Courtney Hadwin is one that many music fans remember because it shows how talent can appear in the most unexpected ways. Long before she became known around the world, Courtney was simply a quiet girl growing up in the small town of Heselden in England. She was not the loudest child in school, and she often felt nervous speaking in front of people. Teachers and classmates saw her as shy and reserved. But inside that quiet personality lived a powerful love for music. At home, she spent hours listening to old songs and trying to copy the voices she admired. Her family played records by famous singers who sang with passion and emotion. Courtney became fascinated with artists like Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin. Their voices were strong, raw, and full of feeling. When Courtney tried to sing their songs, something surprising happened. Her voice did not sound like that of a typical young girl. It sounded deep, rough, and powerful, almost like an old soul trapped inside a young body. At first, she only sang when she was alone in her room. She felt safe there, away from the eyes of classmates and strangers. Music became her way to express emotions she could not easily share with words. Her parents slowly began to notice that their quiet daughter had a special gift. One evening they heard her singing from behind her bedroom door, and they were stunned by the strength and emotion in her voice. It was hard to believe such a voice could come from someone so young. From that moment, they started to encourage her talent. They realized that music was not just a hobby for Courtney. It was becoming the center of her world, and possibly the path that would shape her future. As Courtney grew older, her love for singing continued to grow stronger. Even though she was shy in daily life, music gave her confidence in a way nothing else could. When she sang, she felt free. She began performing in small school talent shows and local events, slowly getting used to standing on a stage. Each performance helped her become a little braver. Her family noticed that the stage seemed to transform her. The quiet girl who avoided attention suddenly became full of energy when music started. Her movements became wild and expressive, and her voice carried the same spirit that she admired in classic rock and soul singers. Over time, people around her began encouraging her to try something bigger. Eventually, she decided to audition for the famous television competition America's Got Talent. The show had already made many unknown performers famous, but it was still a terrifying idea for someone as shy as Courtney. Traveling from England to the United States and standing in front of a massive audience and celebrity judges felt overwhelming. Yet she knew that opportunities like this do not come often. At just 13 years old, she stepped onto the stage during her audition. Cameras were everywhere, and thousands of people were watching. The judges asked her a few simple questions, and her answers were soft and quiet. Some people in the audience were unsure what to expect. She looked nervous and small standing alone on such a big stage. But everything changed the moment the music started. The shy teenager disappeared, and a powerful performer appeared in her place. Her voice burst through the speakers with surprising strength, shocking the judges and audience. The room quickly filled with cheers and applause as people realized they were witnessing something very special. Courtney's performance quickly became one of the most talked about moments in the history of America's Got Talent. She sang the classic song, Hard to Handle, which was originally recorded by Otis Redding and later made famous by the Black Crowes. From the first note, her performance surprised everyone. Her voice was powerful, gritty, and filled with emotion. Even more surprising was her stage presence. She danced, moved around the stage, and performed with the same wild energy that reminded many people of rock legends from decades earlier. One of the judges, Howie Mandel, was so impressed that he immediately pressed the golden buzzer. This special moment sent Courtney straight to the live shows and covered the stage in golden confetti. The audience stood up and cheered loudly as the young singer realized what had just happened. The moment quickly went viral online. Millions of people watched the performance on social media and shared it with friends and family. Overnight, Courtney went from being an unknown teenager to an international sensation. News outlets began writing stories about the shy girl with the incredible voice. Fans compared her sound and stage style to the legendary Janis Joplin because of the raw emotion in her singing. Even famous judge Simon Cowell admitted that he had not expected such a powerful performance from someone so young. For Courtney, the experience felt almost unreal. Only a short time earlier, she had been practicing songs in her bedroom. Now millions of people around the world were watching her performances. The sudden fame was exciting, but it also brought new pressure and challenges that she had never faced before. Life changed quickly for Courtney after her unforgettable audition. With her performance spreading across the internet, she began receiving attention from fans, media outlets, and music professionals. Interviews, television appearances, and performances became a regular part of her life. For a teenager who had once been too shy to speak in class, the sudden spotlight was both thrilling and overwhelming. Fame often brings praise, but it also brings criticism. Some people loved her unique style and powerful voice, while others questioned whether such a young singer should perform in such an intense way. Social media made those opinions louder than ever. Still, Courtney tried to focus on what mattered most to her, singing. During the competition, she continued performing in front of huge audiences and millions of viewers. Each week, she worked hard to improve her stage presence and vocal control. Her performances showed that she was not just a viral moment, but a serious young artist. Even when the pressure felt heavy, she relied on the support of her family. Her parents traveled with her and helped her stay grounded while everything around her moved so quickly. They reminded her that the most important thing was not fame, but the love of music that had started in her small bedroom at home. That simple reminder helped her stay focused during one of the most exciting times of her life. By the time her journey on the show came to an end, Courtney had already achieved something incredible. She had introduced her voice to millions of people and proven that true talent can come from the most unexpected places. After her appearance on America's Got Talent, Courtney began exploring what the next chapter of her career might look like. Many young performers struggle after reality television fame because the attention fades quickly. However, Courtney was determined to continue growing as an artist. She started working on new music and experimenting with different sounds. Instead of trying to copy the singers she admired, she began finding her own style. This process takes time for any musician, especially someone who became famous at such a young age. Courtney also had to balance her career with her education and personal life. Being a teenager while building a music career can be challenging. There are expectations from fans, industry professionals, and the media. Yet Courtney remained focused on the simple reason she started singing in the first place: her love for music. She began releasing original songs and performing at different events, slowly building her career step by step. Fans who had discovered her through the show continued supporting her journey. Many admired her authenticity and the emotional power in her voice. Instead of chasing quick fame, she seemed interested in creating music that felt honest and meaningful. That approach helped her build a loyal audience that respected her artistry. As time passed, Courtney also became more comfortable speaking publicly and interacting with fans. The shy girl who once avoided attention slowly developed confidence through her experiences on stage and in the music world. Growing up in the public eye can be difficult for any young performer. People often forget that behind the talent and stage lights is still a teenager learning about life. Courtney faced moments of pressure, criticism, and self-doubt as she continued developing her career. The music industry can be demanding, and expectations can feel overwhelming. Yet she continued working on her skills and learning from each experience. Over time, her performances showed clear growth and maturity. Her voice developed new depth, and her stage presence became even stronger. Fans began to see not only a talented singer, but also a young artist discovering her identity. Many people who first saw her as the shy girl from America's Got Talent were surprised to watch her transformation. She was no longer just a viral sensation. She was becoming a musician with her own artistic voice. Courtney also began writing music and expressing personal emotions through lyrics. Songwriting allowed her to share thoughts and experiences that she could not always explain in interviews. Music became a way to tell her story in her own words. This creative process helped her grow not only as a performer, but also as a person. As she gained experience, she learned how to handle both praise and criticism in a healthier way. The journey from shy teenager to confident artist did not happen overnight, but each step helped shape the musician she was becoming. Another important part of Courtney's journey has been learning how to stay authentic in an industry that often pushes artists to follow trends. Many young singers feel pressure to change their style to match what is popular at the moment. Courtney, however, continued drawing inspiration from the classic soul and rock music she loved as a child. The influence of artists like Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin could still be heard in her performances, but she also worked to create a sound that belonged to her alone. Fans appreciated this honesty. Instead of trying to be perfect, she allowed her performances to feel raw and emotional. That authenticity made her stand out in a music world often filled with polished and carefully controlled performances. As she continued releasing songs and performing live, her audience slowly grew. People admired the passion she brought to the stage and the way she expressed emotion through her voice. Her journey also inspired many young singers who struggled with shyness or self-confidence. Seeing someone who once felt nervous in front of people become a powerful performer gave them hope. Courtney's story showed that confidence can grow through courage and persistence. It reminded people that talent alone is not enough. Determination and self-belief are just as important. Today, the journey of Courtney Hadwin continues as she develops her music career and explores new creative opportunities. She is no longer just remembered for a single audition or viral video. Instead, she is building a path as a young artist determined to grow and improve. Her early experience on America's Got Talent opened the door to international recognition, but the real challenge has been turning that moment into a lasting career. Step by step, she has worked toward that goal by writing music, performing for fans, and staying true to the style that inspired her from childhood. Her story reminds us that success in music is rarely simple. Behind every performance are years of practice, moments of doubt, and the courage to continue even when things feel uncertain. Courtney's journey from a shy girl in a small English town to a singer recognized around the world shows how powerful passion can be. Music gave her a voice when she once felt too nervous to speak. That same voice continues to connect with listeners who appreciate honesty and emotion in music. As her career continues to grow, many fans are excited to see where her path will lead next. Whether she is performing on large stages or sharing new songs with her audience, one thing remains clear. Her love for music still guides everything she does. As Courtney continued her musical journey, she also began to understand the responsibility that comes with public attention. Being recognized by millions of people around the world can feel exciting, but it can also be challenging for a young artist. Fans look up to performers not only for entertainment, but also for inspiration. Over time, Courtney Hadwin realized that her story had the power to encourage others who struggled with confidence or anxiety. Many young people who watched her performances on America's Got Talent connected with her personality because they saw someone who had once been shy just like them. Instead of pretending to be fearless, Courtney often spoke honestly about how nervous she used to feel before going on stage. She explained that courage does not mean having no fear. Instead, courage means facing fear and continuing anyway. This message resonated with fans who felt inspired by her honesty. In interviews and public appearances, she began sharing more about her journey and the challenges she had faced along the way. She talked about the importance of believing in yourself even when others doubt you. She also reminded young performers that success takes patience and hard work. Many people think that fame happens overnight, but Courtney's story showed that real growth comes from practice, learning, and persistence. Her experience encouraged other young singers to keep chasing their dreams, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Another important lesson from Courtney's journey is the value of staying grounded. Fame can sometimes change people, especially when it arrives suddenly at a young age. However, Courtney remained closely connected to her family and the small community where she grew up. Their support helped her stay balanced while dealing with the pressures of a growing music career. Whenever she returned home after performances or recording sessions, she could step away from the spotlight and spend time with the people who knew her long before she became famous. This balance between public life and personal life helped her maintain a healthy perspective on success. It reminded her that popularity and attention are only temporary parts of a much bigger life journey. She continued focusing on improving her singing, writing new songs, and exploring different musical influences. While the comparisons to legendary singers like Janis Joplin were flattering, Courtney understood that the most important goal was to develop her own unique identity as an artist. Every performance and recording session became an opportunity to learn more about her voice and her creative style. Over time, she gained more confidence not only as a performer, but also as a songwriter and musician. Fans began to see her not just as the young contestant from America's Got Talent, but as a developing artist with a bright future ahead. Music has always been the center of Courtney's life, but as she matured, she began to see it as something deeper than just a career. For her, music became a way to connect with people from many different backgrounds and cultures. When she performs, audiences often respond strongly to the emotion in her voice. That emotional connection is something that cannot easily be taught. It comes from honesty and the ability to express real feelings through sound. Throughout her journey, Courtney Hadwin has shown that authenticity can be one of the most powerful qualities an artist can have. Instead of trying to sound perfect, she allows her performances to feel natural and expressive. This approach reminds listeners of the classic singers who inspired her during childhood, including Aretha Franklin. These legendary performers were known not only for their technical ability, but also for their emotional depth. Courtney carries that same spirit into her music. Fans who follow her journey often describe her voice as raw, soulful, and full of life. These qualities help her stand out in a modern music industry that sometimes values style and trends more than genuine emotion. By staying true to her musical roots, she continues to build a career based on passion rather than simply chasing popularity. Looking ahead, the future holds many possibilities for Courtney as she continues developing her artistic voice. The early success she experienced on America's Got Talent opened the door to a global audience, but it is her dedication and passion that will determine where her career goes next. Many young artists struggle to maintain momentum after reality television appearances, yet Courtney has shown a willingness to grow patiently and learn from every opportunity. Her journey reminds us that talent is only the beginning of a long process. True success requires persistence, creativity, and the courage to stay authentic in a fast-changing industry. As fans continue following her music, they are watching more than just a singer performing songs. They are witnessing the story of a young artist discovering who she truly is. From the quiet girl who once practiced alone in her bedroom to a performer recognized around the world, Courtney Hadwin has already achieved something remarkable. Yet her journey is far from finished. Each new song, performance, and creative project represents another step in her evolving story. For many listeners, that story serves as a powerful reminder that dreams can grow from the most humble beginnings when passion and determination guide the way. As the years pass, the journey of Courtney Hadwin continues to evolve in ways that many fans find inspiring. When people first saw her on America's Got Talent, they mostly focused on the shock of hearing such a powerful voice from someone so young. But as time went on, fans began to notice something even more important: her growth as an artist and